Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Shower Door People. That's right, Shower Door Professionals Group. We are live on the internet, zooming right into your device. Hey, hope you're having a great week out there. I know I'm having an awesome week here in beautiful Santa Cruz, California. I mean, I don't want to rub it in or anything, but it is awesome. Sun is shining and phones ringing. People are buying stuff. What more can you ask for? It's a good life.
Yep.
Hope you all are doing great also. And I want to invite you to come on in to the call if you would like to. You can just click on the link in the Facebook group. There in the description, I've got a link. All the information you need to come on in here and join us on the call. I'd like to hear your opinion. I'm curious what you think about all this stuff. And if you've got a question or a topic that you'd like to discuss, I'm sure that we can work it in. I see that we have the lovely Christina with us. Hello, Christina. How are you?
I'm
wondering if
good.
you.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I mean, like I said, I feel sorry for people who aren't me. There's only room for one guy to be me, and I've got the job. So, but I was hoping that you might be willing to give us a little update on the co-op and what's going on with all that stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know how much I'm supposed to say, but there's a lot of good stuff happening. So we met with the attorney. They're taking it back with them and, doing the fine tuning and all the fine tuned details. And then we're going to get that solidified. I'm hoping, I really believe it's very possible by the end of May, signed, sealed, and delivered. And then the idea is, well, and we have a logo going. That's really exciting too. We're so excited about the logo, finalizing all of the different media and fonts and colors and all that good stuff. And then I think we're going to do like kind of a soft launch by the end of the summer in the Shower Door Professionals call. So we'll have another, what is the co-op? What is the package that we're providing you? Why should you join? Why is this important to the industry? Things like that. Who is eligible to join? All of those good things. We'll do an entire call or series of calls on this information. And then I think we're going to try to do a hard launch at Glassbuild this year, but that is very much up to the great Max Perelstein. So that's in the works as well, but we will see how that goes. But I'm really hoping our first members will be able to join in the fall this year.
Wow. Awesome.
Did I do that right, Chris?
You did great. Man, it sounds like we're moving right along here, huh?
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, thanks for
going on. It's great.
Yeah. Thanks for the update. And if people want to learn more about this, if you haven't signed up yet or just want to kind of get on the list, there's going to be, we don't want anybody stampeding when the doors open like that, so you can go ahead and get on the list. Go to showerdoorprofessionals.com. Rob has got the site all set up, man. He's on it. You can sign up and get on the list, and and we'll keep you in the loop, the proverbial loop. Awesome. I see.
And
that.
I think too that, sorry, Chris,
No,
I think
go ahead.
that Rob will be sending out an email to everybody who signed up so far. I know a lot of people signed up a while ago and have been asking, what's going on? We haven't heard anything. There hasn't been a lot to tell until now. It's been a lot of little pieces coming together, but now they're all crashing into one another and everything's ready at the same time. So we're really excited about that. And so that's all coming to y'all in an email pretty soon. So that's sign up to get that email.
Awesome. It's converging. Fantastic. Right on. Well, good, good. Yeah. Hey, so I was just thinking about, what am I going to talk about? I do this every. What am I going to talk about? I'm going to have a bunch of people there. And I was just thinking about upgrades, right? What kind of upgrades are you offering? What kind of options are you offering your customers? Are you selling much low iron glass? Are you selling coatings? What about like towel bars, robe hooks? What about the little extras? Curious about that. I know that, my experience is that whenever we do a quote, almost 100% of the time, unless they're very specific with what they're asking for, we'll offer them a few different options. The clear glass, the Starfire, give them the alternate pricing for that. GCS, we have our own proprietary product we call crystalline, GCS crystalline, which is a low iron glass that comes with the coating and an extended warranty. So whenever we're pricing, we always give them a few options. Kind of the lowest price, kind of medium price, and then kind of the luxury edition. And it's cool. I mean, we actually sell quite a bit of Lauren glass just because we're asking people if they want it. And it's pretty common for people to be like, well, what's that? They're just, you know, they're just regular people out there. They didn't even know there was such a thing as low iron glass. And we get to have the conversation, explain to them why glass is green and how we can take some of the greenness out of it. And once people are educated on it, a lot of times they'll buy it. So how about you guys? What's your experience?
Chris, do you guys offer that as like an a la carte menu on your proposal? So if you give them a basic price, and if they want low iron, it's add X amount. If they want a towel bar, add X amount. Or do you spell that? I mean, I guess this question goes to everybody. Is if you are upselling, is that how you present it as an a la carte type thing?
Yeah, what we're doing is we're doing almost all of our pre-sale estimating by text message. So it's got kind of a little template that goes out, and it gives a description of what their enclosure is, the layout of it, and then a price for clear glass, price for Starfire, price for the crystalline glass, and then we'll say, you can add on a towel bar for this much. You can add the coating for this much. So it's all right in that first text that they get. So it's not super long, but it's got those options in
Okay.
The main reason was I know there's about 6 months to a year where we sold zero ultra clear, and the only difference between the year we sold zero and the year we sold 100 is we told people about it. And once we started offering, we got so worried about having to educate them, but actually just introducing this offer on that second option opened up an opportunity for us to make all this educational content, create all these educational messages, and solidify our message across the company about what is our answer to this, why is it more valuable, and how do you present it to the customer. And all of a sudden, all these people are choosing it. Even builders are being told, I was never even given an option. Go ahead and send me a quote. I didn't even know that was a thing. And we, as a glass company, didn't know that other people weren't being educated about this out there. But just the fact that we implemented it in our process without it even being a question as to what we do when we send it out may increased money per job just right off the back. So I would highly encourage just starting to offer it in some way and figuring out how it works for you in your process. And of course, on site, if they sound interested, that's where you have your great things that they can touch and hold to give them the true image of what their job's going to be like, not just the digital message we send before. That's only so we can really pre-qualify and get out of the way of people who hear what the price range would be and automatically tell us they would never have spent that. They're going to go the Home Depot route. At least we figured that out before we got on site, and we can test that there. And anyone else who might be interested to they'll see us on site, and we'll be in person to show them that glass, show them that quality, show them the little gadgets you have to understand why they would want water protection and why they might not. All these things can be taught on site, and we just keep upgrading our education to them. So it really helps. I would encourage everyone to offer ultra clear in some way, all these upgrades.
Yeah, especially if your competition is mentioning it and you're not, then they look like they're a lot more knowledgeable than you are. Or the inverse, if you're mentioning it and they're not. We'll go to a house and there's a white marble tile. That's a perfect scenario with white tile. You say, well, you're going to get a shift to green with that regular glass. You might want to consider this. And boom, we're selling a lot more of it. And of course, Brian Jerd in Chattanooga really pushed me on this, and it's paying off. I do have a question on that. What are you guys getting for ultra clears? Are you doing as a percentage? And if so, if you don't mind me ask, what are you getting?
So I figured back a couple of years ago when I really started selling a lot of it, I figured out that it increases the overall cost by about 25%. I mean, it's a significant increase. And so that's what I used to do. I used to just take my clear glass price and just multiply it by 1.25 and say that was my Starfire price. So now we do it different. We have an app. We've got this really awesome app now. I love it. This price up app. And so you plug everything in there and it calculates. But it's still, I don't know. I think I'm pretty close. It's in that ballpark of about that much, about 25% increase. I mean, for the whole, for the whole enclosure.
Right. Obviously, the glass is a lot more than that compared to clear glass. But when you add, but your hinges aren't changing, your labor's not changing, etc. So you're about 25%. That's where we're at. I didn't know if that's where people are.
Interesting.
If that's what the market will bear, or if people have figured that's where their margins are working out well.
Well, we're finding that's like what the computer is telling us we should be bidding based on, all the factors, that we're putting into the soup. So it was really pretty interesting kind of seeing like what I just kind of intuitively was doing. And it's very, very close to what works out.
We usually just do like $10. We do like $10 a foot, because Smart Toolbox, you could just kind of click on the summary and it'll tell you how many square feet of glass are in there, and we just multiply it by 10. So usually like a 5-foot door on a panel is about 35 square feet. So it'll usually be like right around $340, $350 we're going to be adding on. But we just try to do like quick math.
Okay, so that's low then. If I don't know what you're getting for door and panel, but at 1,800, that's just under 20%. So we're not getting a lot of pushback on the pricing. Go ahead.
I think during a panel we're at like $2,100, $2,200. So we'll add on $350 or something for a low iron. Now we're at like 25, 26, and then we'll get like another $250 to $300 for the surface protection. So we can be up at like 28 sometimes, 28, 29 for door to panel. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I'm right about the same with Chris. Right about 25 to 30% on some of like the bigger showers, like a corner, like a 90 unit or 90-degree unit. Sometimes, I mean, it's been almost $1,000 bump. So yeah, it kind of depends.
Yeah. Right, and the bigger, the more glass there is, actually it becomes a little bit less as a percentage, right? Because but yeah, and I used to be kind of shy about that because a lot of people aren't going to pay that, and I've heard other shower door people say that. It's like, oh, people won't pay that. In my area, people won't pay that, and there's a possibility that you may really be in an area like that where people won't. But I think you might be surprised if you start offering it to people. I think a lot of times when we come out with our first price, a lot of times people were expecting it to be higher. And that may be surprising to you, but because it was surprising to me. Because I could just tell, you read people, like you do a lot of sales, you talk to people. If you deliver prices to people like this in person, you learn to kind of read body language pretty well. And I came to realize people were not that shocked by by the price, that they're expecting to pay a lot of money. Now, you know, it varies from one person to the next, of course, but a lot of people are hear the clear glass price and they're thinking, oh wow, I was expecting to pay more. And then you tell them, well, the Starfire is this much. It was like, oh yeah, that's kind of more like what I was thinking I was going to pay.
Yeah, I think it's how you pitch it. Yeah, I think it's how you pitch it too.
Yeah.
Like how you were saying, you know, or how Robert was saying, the education part of it and how you present it definitely plays, because I'm guilty of it too. I get kind of shy with talking up the Starfire, especially because it's such a huge price difference. But yeah, I think if you read it right, and then especially if they have, you know, a white, like a brighter tile or like something gray, the green tends to show up a lot more. So and I sometimes I encourage the customer to come in the showroom too, because that makes a huge difference, because the way we have it set up in there, they can actually see on a bigger scale, like, okay, yeah, that's probably what it's going to look like here. And then, you know, it makes it an easier sell that way. But yeah.
A lot of the times we'll just ask the customer, like, because you see people in tile stores, they're holding up tiles next to each other. They're like they want to make everything perfect, right? This is like their remodel of their lifetime. So they want everything to be perfect. And then you just ask them, how long did it take you to pick like the exact right colors for your tile? And then usually it's a husband and wife, and they'll be like, oh my God, it took us forever. And it's like, all right, well, do you want a green tint in front of it, or do you want it to look like you picked in the store? And then it's like, yeah, you know what? So sometimes the question answers itself.
Yeah,
definitely. If you guys can talk about what percentage you sell of low iron, like you got 100% showers, what percentage are low iron? What I'm struggling with is our cost increase is about 50%. We still have some people do it, but I buy regular glass straight from the manufacturer in China. It's cheap. I buy it by the container. I buy low iron from the local distributor who has marked it up like crazy and then is selling it to me. It's a huge price difference for me. So I'm trying to figure out if I do want to put out the money. I mean, it's a big inventory to be buying that and stocking it. And you know, if it's going to be 10% of my sales, I'd say it's not worth it. If it's going to be closer to 20, maybe. So what are you guys experiencing? If we had an increase of 25%, how many would buy it?
We sell about 40% low iron, 60 clear.
Wow.
I would say ours is more than 50% low iron.
Yeah, I'm probably more than 50 also.
That's good.
I'd say we're
Yeah.
about 80%.
Yeah, I do a lot of low iron, and then I do a lot of the ultra clear shower guard low iron.
Great information. Thank you.
Yeah, Shannon, I think you and I are on the backside of this curve. I'm probably 20% right now, and we were probably 5. And I think the designers have pushed it, and so I think it's coming.
Yeah, if it was less of a hurdle, I'm sure it would go, you know, sales.
Yeah,
would
but I
go
mean,
up. Is it
we're
worth it?
paying about, we're buying truckload clear, and we're buying cases of low iron as well, same as you. So we're over double. Our low iron is over double of what our 3/8 clear is, just the glass.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference. Yeah. I mean, that's completely different because, yep, I can see what you mean.
But you're 25%, again, you're adding it on your labor, your hinges, and the glass. So we're covered in a little bit better.
And if you if you were buying
that's definitely
containers
what I
of
mean.
Starfire, I mean, think of how cheap you'd be getting it too. Think of the markup you'd be getting.
But
Well,
something
it
that
could be
I've seen with a lot of our customers, they buy some plumbing fixture in the thousands and thousands of dollars. And you know, at least in our area, they don't mind spending the money for low iron. I had a customer that they got shower door hardware from the plumbing fixtures, and they paid $15,000 just for 2 hinges and 7 clamps. $15,000.
We're seeing some designers using the waterworks. Have you seen these handles? They're fancy shower, $1,200 for the handle. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's the
guess-
clientele I'm after.
Yeah, no kidding. Sign us up, man.
I think the watermark wasn't too bad, but some of those fancy manufacturers, we've required the homeowner to bring us their handle so that we can make the glass to the handle, because we'll get it and it'll be, 3/16 quarter inch or more off, and we do our standard. They say in the specs it's 6 inches. We could get 4 handles for all their showers, and they're all different.
But Alvin makes a great point that they're doing us a favor on the shower fixture side. They're really softening up these customers with their shocking the prices on the front end. So by the time they get to us, they've already been through the shock.
And a lot of these handles aren't meant for glass to glass.
Right.
They're not big enough to cover the, half or the whole size. A lot of these people don't know you have to 3/8 glass. You have to drill a whole size bigger than 3/8.
Right.
But if you get a small handle, it ain't gonna work.
Yes, I'm sure you're like everybody else. You get the wood handle that the designer sends across for a wood door, and you're like, yeah, that's not going to work.
No.
It's good for a sauna.
But I saw it on Pinterest, though.
I saw it on Pinterest.
Yeah, I mean, so that's just one thing. That's just one kind of option for an upgrade. What about
we started
we
getting
talked about
more of the bronze. I've got my second one just within the last 2 months of the gray glass and the bronze. I haven't sold any yet. We've been wanting to, but yeah, we just sold our first gray glass last month, and then I just got a bronze one yesterday. That I already kind of gave her a heads up, like, hey, it's gonna be, because we already did her guest shower, and I'm like, hey, just give you a heads up, it's gonna be about 40% more than what we did in your other bathroom. So just, oh yeah, no, it's fine. This is what we want. I'm like, oh, great. Okay, let's do it.
Why would they want gray glass and try to find it?
It was a Pinterest deal. They found one. It was a barn door slider, and they've got some like more earth tones inside the bathroom, and they found one with that bronze glass on it. So we're gonna do a Cambridge with bronze.
What color hardware?
Matte black.
You better put a coating on that because it'll water spout like hell.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
These
you
people
better
don't
put
think
some
of that
lights
part.
in the room too, so it's gonna be dark in there.
Yeah, and it was already dark, and I was like, I kind of told her the same time. I was like, just to let you know, this is just like putting rain glass. You're putting up a wall here. So she's like, no, we're ready for it. We want it. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Sweet, I can add it to my portfolio here.
Speaking of Cambridges, we're finding that the weight limit that CRL has on those is a little tight. And we fabricate and temper 5/16 as well. So we're switching to 5/16 on a lot of those to get to the height. So you get like a curbless shower and they want to go 84 high, and it's 5 feet wide, and the 3/8 doors exceed the weight of the capacity of the Cambridge. And sometimes the CRL has extra built in, not that you'd abuse it, but we find with the Cambridge, it's that header's already under stress when you're underneath their number. I don't know if anybody else is running into that.
Yes, we did that today, Greg. Actually, we did a 5/16 bridge today, and our guys love it. And we've done a few before, but it's not common. We only do it if it's above the weight spec. And I think I would love to just move to that, because our guys say it rolls so smoother, and it's like it's built for 5/16 more than it's built for 3/8.
Yeah. And that keeps us out of trouble, which is nice.
Yeah, that hadn't even occurred to me, because I run up against that all the time. I mean, because showers are getting wider and wider anyway.
Yeah.
And just to do like a 60-inch by 80-inch, you can't do 60 inches by 80 inches with a Cambridge. It's that already exceeds.
That puts you over limit. It does.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, Greg. I mean, it's like a lot of things you can kind of, you know, you can always push the limits a little bit, but I don't think the Cambridge is really one of those that you want to push it very much.
No, because of course it's double doors, so it'll sag in the middle if you. So
And
we
not
have
only
a
that, I mean, everything's hanging on like what, two, you know, four, what are those,
bracket.
14s, number 14 screws or something?
Mhm.
You know, I mean, that's a lot. I mean, they do it, you know, but that's a little spooky to me.
Yeah, so the 5/16 really saves us. So okay, so I'm not the only one that's running into that because we won't even go 5 foot by 80, just like you said, in the 3/8.
Mhm.
We'll switch it to 5/16.
Mhm.
On a tub, it's fine, but in
Mhm.
3/8, but we
Yeah.
got to go 5/16 on the others. We just
That's
it's
a
just an
great
education
idea.
issue.
Now, when you guys do your Cambridge, are you guys leaving the sweeps off on the bottom? You're
Not
still
me.
getting them on.
I always use the sweeps. I love the
Yep.
sweeps. But I'll tell you what I do. I take a 1/2 inch off the bottom, not 3/8.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and the same thing with any barn door,
Yeah.
especially with the ones that have suites, whether it's a Crescent or a Cambridge or whatever. That 3/8 is not enough at the bottom. I don't even know why they
No.
No.
Are you
The-
talking
the
about
la-
dragging, Brian? Or are you
Yes.
talking about, or are you talking
Yes.
about swapping them out after the fact?
No, yeah, I'm talking about they drag.
The,
If you
so
go with the 3/8 spacing, it's not enough spacing.
yeah, it drags, and the swapping them out. So part of the question to you was that you're switching to the 5/16 thickness. So I was wondering if you were still using the 3/8 sweep on your doors.
Ah, this-
Okay.
That was
okay.
part of it. The other part of it was due to the tight space at the bottom of the sweep dragging. I've been I kind of always offer it as an option. Like, listen, I can keep this a little bit lower and keep the sweeps off, because as the shower gets used, the progression of the dirt and scum buildup is going to be focused on that sweep. And you can pull them off real easy to clean them, but going to get them back on is a nightmare. So for just the average homeowner to try and do that, I think it's not as feasible as it would be, say, with a hinge swinging door, where, you know, I always show them, listen, and I actually started giving them an extra one at the end. We leave them with a spare. But they
Nice.
can just pop that off and clean it and pop it right back on. It's no big deal. It's not as easy with the Cambridge. And the drag, I mean, and it almost seems like I do the same thing as Chris. I give a little bit of extra underneath there, but I found that I was still getting drag on some of these sweeps, and they were starting to fray and tear. So we started offering the option of like not putting them on at all, and then I'll just keep my space a little bit tighter at the bottom. And
But you're not
inform the
getting-
customer on the front end, like, listen, you're gonna get a little water coming out of here. But it's a frameless shower door, so it's not going to be watertight anyway. You know, if you're conscious of it, you're aware of it, you know, don't spray your handheld, don't focus it there for too long. But during a normal shower, you should be fine. And on the ones where I don't use the sweep, I'll hold the door out off center of the curb, to give a little bit extra on the inside. That's what we've been doing lately. It seems to be working out okay. But then there's always going to be that time where it doesn't work out okay.
Well, one trick you can use, you know, those clear wall jams that come with some of the kits. It's like an L channel, but it's kind of rigid and it's taped. We now use that on the bottom, right up against the door. We don't use the seals.
Okay.
So, that if you look at the old timey bypass doors that you'd have on a tub, you know, that track on the bottom has that lip on the outside. That's why those doors don't leak. I think what happens is when the water's lipping under the glass, it gets caught right there and then drains right back in. But we don't have that luxury with the frameless shower barn door sliders. But with that clear wall jamb, you can put that on the bottom right up against that door, and it catches the water. It doesn't come out. So it's something that we started doing probably about I don't know, about maybe less than a year ago, but seems to be working really well.
And you do that on just about every Cambridge install?
I'm not sure if we're doing it on all of them or not. If there's a large shower where there's a lot of depth, I'm sure not doing them. I kind of leave it to the installers now. So, and I haven't heard any problems. Maybe Christina has. I'm not sure if she wants to comment to that, but she seems pretty confident. We had one real picky customer, oh gosh, about a month ago, and I was really concerned because that's the way we were going to address it with him, and he wanted to know every detail. And I tell you what, he was happy with it, and he would be one to call and give us a lot of crap if it didn't work. So yeah, try it out on one of them, especially if you have one that somebody's complaining about leaks. Try it and see if that works.
Yeah, we've added that a couple times on if we've done them on a tub deck, where the water tends to kind of come out from underneath a little bit more so than a shower stall. We've added them on there, or we've taken the threshold pieces. Usually we'll get it in a white and we'll put that down on the tub deck too. So it's just kind of camouflages in there, disappears a little bit. Seems to work okay.
I've never even heard of doing that. That's awesome. And I'm glad I came.
Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Shoot, I learned stuff here, man. Makes me want to get out there and just install one right now. Well,
Like you guys, I think a lot of you guys are putting the bulb seals on the edge of like a Cambridge, and instead of using wall jams. And
yeah, we do.
We've accumulated so many of those wall jams. It's like you have a bundle of them now. But that seems to be something we've had success with. So
we like the clear acrylic dam strips. We use those an awful lot on the sill area. So they're not as tall as the L jam. They're about 3/8 tall. Nice little round. We silicone them down, and we do that standard on all our fiberglass frameless. We got tired of doing service calls. Stuff's leaking. So any tubs automatically, any fiberglass pans automatically, and then if we have negative slope or a 1/16 or less, we automatically put in a warning and let them know ahead of time that they need the dam strip. And if they don't take it, that's okay. It's just leaks under the door are not warranted. So you let them know on the front end, and then I'll take the dam strip.
That now, is that like the half moon one? Or
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it quite a half moon, but I think that's what you're describing. It's almost like you took the top third and sliced it off.
Gotcha.
About 3/4 wide, about 3/8 tall.
Gotcha.
that's your product, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, I've got a product
Yes.
just like that. The clear, it's a clear acrylic, and it comes with the pre-applied tape on it. FHC carries them, so if you buy stuff from FHC, you can just order them straight from them. Or you can go to glassgadget.com. That's glassgadget.com. Nice. Thanks for the setup there. So, Greg, getting back to you. So I don't know if you answered the question that Brian had about using the sweeps on the 5/16 stores.
The answer is I don't know. I don't install them. So
Nice.
But I'll ask my guys. It's a good question. I assume they use the sweep because I don't buy specific 5/16 sweeps. I don't think they sell them. So either they have enough compressibility to them, or I don't know what they do.
They could. Do they come with a 5/16 sweep? They come with 2 sweeps. No, they don't. No, the Cambridge don't do that. They just come with the ones for 3/8. But I think Crescents, they come with 2 sweeps. I think one's for 1/2 inch and one's for 3/8.
Yeah.
But it seems like you could probably take a little VHB tape, put it in the bottom of the sweep, stick it on there or something.
Yeah, the guys aren't. I mean, the guys like the Cambridges. They go in pretty fast.
They certainly do.
Don't have to worry about any outages on the curb. So it is what it is.
Mhm. All right. So the official answer is I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. All right,
This
excellent.
is the shower door professional page. The
That's
answer
right.
is I don't know.
Yeah, we're honest. If nothing, we're honest.
Did
Cool.
They do have a 5/16 bottom sweep, don't they, for, not for sliders necessarily, but for swing doors, right?
Swing doors, yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. So you were talking about for the slider,
Yeah, the drip rail would be different.
got it.
Yeah, the 5/16 glass is a good solution for that. I can't, it's crazy that that never occurred to me to do that. So we don't use 5/16 for anything, but we certainly could, you know, and that would solve that problem. It's
Yeah,
just-
we use it also for the conventional bypass sliders. You know, the 3/16 and the 1/4 inch Home Depot units are too thin. And the
okay.
5/16 is nice because you can do wide spans and you're not putting too much weight on. So that's the only bypass slider we sell is 5/16.
Okay. Awesome.
So,
Have-
Greg, are you? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, are you able
Ladies
to get
first.
5/16 in low iron?
We actually, during COVID, we got a couple of cases of it because that's all they had. But so I assume it's available. But we don't buy 5/16 in low iron right now.
Okay, thanks.
It's not very popular for a lot of people because it's about the same price as 3/8. So it hasn't really gained traction here like it has everywhere else. But the truth is, when it solves a weight problem, like it does on the Cambridge, then it becomes the difference between solving a customer's problem or not being able to.
But speaking of upgrades, original topic, that would be a great upgrade to the Phantom, which is really expensive, but very, very nice and handles all the weight.
Yeah, that's true. And then I mean, then the Phantom's also the solution to a bigger, heavier pair of doors, right?
Correct.
If you use the Phantom, then you don't really have to worry about the weight. I mean, that can span a pretty big area.
And the 310 tempering, they sell glass towel bars for the Phantoms, but you could also order them a la carte. I don't know how much they like doing that, so I maybe shouldn't say that, but I believe it's fine. And they're pretty affordable. So if you were looking for a place where you could kind of get some margin somewhere or something like that, the glass towel bars are a really good option. They're very, very nice.
Do they look good? We've been doing the discs.
They look great. We have one in our showroom.
How many of you guys operate without a showroom? Or does everybody have a showroom space?
I don't have
Showroom.
them.
Who doesn't? Tim, you don't?
Nope.
I don't have one either.
Okay.
We didn't for 10 years.
I used to have one, but people would not come down. They'd rather see stuff online, so we just closed it.
Okay.
Nice to be able
People
to
look. We have 27 full-size displays, and people come in and just are blown away. Not because it's like the most beautiful showroom of all time. It's because they see it and they go, "I had no idea." And one of everything is on display: fixed panel with a support rod, a Cambridge, a Crescent, French doors, glass to glass, neo angle. It's all on in every bracket, every fastener. So when we're putting up a certain, based on your design, you're going to have this bracket. We touch it and look at it. They just come away from the showroom just feeling like it was worth the trip and that they really understand what they're getting. So if you have space, and sometimes glass shops are in industrial zones, but if you're in an area where housewives will come to you, then I would recommend. Christine has done a phenomenal job. She doesn't have 7 million square feet, but Brad and Christine have done a great job with that showroom.
It's
Brad, you
definitely
feel
best too. I
Yeah,
mean,
and Mike,
new
kudos
panels
to
are
you
great.
for what you did recently. Yours looks great.
We've done, yeah, we did it. We did a little revamp because we started selling different hardware and different kind of things. So we, you know, it was 10 years ago, I think we built it. So we kind of upgraded a whole bunch of stuff and it looks really nice. And one of the tricks of a showroom is, and it sounds like it should be common sense, but literally inviting people when you're on the phone with them, invite them to your showroom.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the time, you know, definitely swing by a showroom. You have to invite them. They're not just gonna show up. I mean, if they find you online and they see pictures and all that stuff online, that's great. But when you have them on the phone, you're talking to them over text or whatever. Hey, I'd love to invite you down to the showroom to come see what we have on display, and that kind of triggers a different response than just waiting for them to ask you, "Do you have a showroom I can come look at?" Because not everybody's going to do that. Not everybody thinks to do that.
Yeah, and I think especially in the glass business, Michael, I don't think most people don't expect glass shops to have showrooms or shower showrooms. So inviting them, they don't even know if you have a showroom. So the fact you got them in a showroom, guess what your competition in town doesn't have? A showroom. And so you're able to bring them in and you're not just saying, oh, look at my showroom, it's expensive, I'm going to add the cost of this overhead to your shower price. What you're saying is, these are all the designs, this is what yours looks like. And we'll walk them over. This is what your half wall looks like, and and they're like, oh, I feel so much better. I know exactly what we're getting now. And then meanwhile, the other guy in town,
he just sends a page. He sends a sketch.
He sends a picture and he sends a sketch. Yeah, which is fine. We did that for a while.
He sends people to your showroom.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of people, they spend a lot of money on these things. They want to know exactly what they're getting, or at least, you know, have a rough understanding of what they're getting. And like you said, we started the conversation with a lot of people don't even know what all the options are. We started this call with low iron. People don't even know what that is or have it. So when they come to the showroom, they see everything. Now they see in handles and towel bars and glass options and all this other stuff. So it really kind of helps solidify the sale when it'll increase your closing when you get people into the showroom.
Yep. We'll get emails. I don't know if you guys get these emails. Yeah, I need a door 24 by 78 and I need a panel about 36 by 42. How much is that going to cost?
Yeah. And they specify, I want the P1 and 03.
Yeah, and they're commoditizing what you do. They're commoditizing what you do down to a piece of glass and a piece of hardware. And what I always say all the time is, I would love to just be in the selling glass business and not the installation business. But the truth is, there's a lot more to it than just those parts. So that's when they try to commoditize it, that's where the showroom really comes in handy.
So I want to say that I concur with everything you said about your showroom. I love our showroom. I also love our viewing area. We bring people upstairs where they can see the plant through the windows and see how it's made. And we say we're the only shop in the Pacific Northwest that fabricates the glass we install. Absolutely love it. However, years and years and years and years was, oh, don't worry about coming to us. We'll come to you. It'll be so much more convenient. We'll bring you, all of the color swatches. You'll be able to see it, and we'll see it in your house. It'll make so much more sense. So, it's not a do or die, just sell what you have.
Yeah, I love what Mike was saying. I mean, if you've got a showroom, if you do have a showroom, invite people to it. I mean, that's brilliant. It's like people ask me, like, do you have a showroom? It's like, I really don't know how to answer it. I mean, we do have a little space.
I got a front office.
Yeah, we've got a couple little mock-up things in there. I mean, it's not, it's very small showroom, but it is, a lot of people do like to come in and meet you, especially here. We're in kind of it's not really a small town, but it's not a big town, so people kind of are more community oriented and stuff, especially Santa Cruz. It's just like people kind of know each other and want to meet people, so if you've got that kind of a community, it's good to have someplace where they can come and meet you, even if you don't have a lot to display stuff. And
Yeah, but
Let's just
what you
say-
say is you don't want to come out to my show. You don't want to spend a lot of time driving around town. I'm going to come to you.
Well,
What
maybe I've
kind
got
of
no
loser
life.
glass shop would make you go to their showroom? Oh my God.
And then I would say, I can't believe that other glass shop is saying that. Don't you want to obviously look and touch and feel everything in full size?
Yeah.
I'll say that was Shannon, wasn't it? That's so Shannon.
Watch out for Greg. Once he gets you in there, man, talk about sales people.
Like a car, used
Stay
car
away.
showroom.
Yeah,
Right.
you'll have trouble getting out of there.
He locks the
Ugh.
door.
Right. What if somebody comes into your house and it's like you decide, oh man, I wish this person hadn't come into my house, you know? And how, you know, and then you're working on getting them out of there.
Yeah.
come
I
over
would say
here,
if you
you
don't
can
have a
see-
show, if you don't have a showroom, sell it the way Shannon sold it. But I think if you've never had a showroom, you're like, man, I just got to staff it. I got this, I got that. Once you have the showroom, people are walking through it. You'll be like, okay, no brainer.
Yeah.
And I think the truth is there's customers that do not, I've experienced customers that it feel like as soon as they acknowledge that we didn't have a showroom, they no longer considered us as an option for them. I've been the salesperson for multiple locations, so I've got the feedback of areas, but in Austin, I know the traffic was horrible, but I knew there were certain types of customers that needed to drive to us to know we're real and meet us before they would ever hand us a dollar, while other ones would really love if they could get the entire project done from work before they ever got home so they could tell their partner, I did that. I got the quote. They're coming tomorrow. Like, and he never had to do anything, but someone else is like, nah, I'm not going to give anyone a dollar till we know who they are. So I think you operating as a business, when you have the opportunity to do both, include it in your process as much as possible, or create a room that you can show them. It doesn't have to be a showroom. Come on down. We have a room where you can see something on my wall, my rack, my shop, where my guys are. You know, that's what I was
come
doing
to our
in
break
Austin.
room.
It was horrible.
Break room.
In
Check the
retrospect,
fridge.
it was wrong to do it because I was walking them to the shop where we're fabricating SSB and mirrors, and like that was actually not safe. We could have been sued, but at the time I was like, "Come on down, check our rack of mirrors. It could fall on you, but you know, who
Yeah,
cares?"
grab one. Grab the end.
You see
I'll be
that?
flopping on this table.
We do have several builders that will send their clients to us, which is a nice support for them. So they'll be like, oh, Smith Builder said that this is, we need to come by and pick out a shower door. And we're like, come on in. Let's walk you through. And it makes them look more professional.
Yeah,
I do have a front office with a counter and people can come in and see stuff. I mean,
you can see you.
but I don't have, full size shower doors.
We have designers that will use our showroom too, and they know the product, they know us, they know everything. And so they'll just call us and say, heads up, I'm gonna, meet a customer over at your place, and so show them some stuff. And I'll be like, and so we'll just greet them and then say, let us know if you need anything. But me showroom, you showroom, me casa, you casa.
Yeah, awesome. Especially if you're the only one in your town that has a showroom. I mean, that's, if nobody else in your area has one, you should probably have one. What else? What other kind of upgrades? There's
Well, real quick, I want to ask, since we're on that showroom topic, for us, I think it's more a blessing and a curse. I mean, it comes in real handy, but people come in and they'll tie us up for so long and the phones are ringing, How do you guys handle that? I mean, are you able to kind of communicate to the customer when things are a little tight on your time that, I don't want to feel pressure. I don't want them to be pressured either.
I give them the time and then I make the phone calls after, because that's the thing is we don't get very many people that walk. I mean, we get a lot more than when we didn't have a showroom, obviously, but I try and give them as much. I mean, we'll try and hurry them along, but I won't give them the pressure like you were talking about. But I still like to, give them the time because they made the trip down and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, I feel like we need to hire somebody, partially because of the showroom now. Which
How many people are you getting a day? How many
we're
couples are you
getting
getting a day?
several. It's, well, I wouldn't say on average, Christine, what do you think? 2 or 3?
About 2 or 3, but they'll stay for 45 minutes to an hour talking about a handle or something. And so
Okay.
it's really killing us. And like our lovely receptionist, Anna, will take it on and then I'll take the phones. But if somebody's out, if Brad's out measuring and I'm dealing with, I don't know, some crisis or payroll or just whatever I've got going on, and then the guy in the warehouse leaves at 4 and then this is after 4, then, you know, we're just all tied up. We're all busy. We're, I wouldn't say understaffed, but utilized. And it's hard when people walk in the showroom. So we just don't know how to grow into that. But you guys told us to do showroom appointments and that we need to. We need to.
Well,
Yeah, I think you just need
to
to
do it.
Yeah,
you
but
just
they
need to
don't
control
always
the
fill.
appointment. You need to control the appointment. You need to control the pace of the appointment. So when we have somebody come in the showroom, yeah, we'll have occasionally the 45-minute, but that's extremely rare. Usually it's like, okay, we're in here because we want to get some, okay, boom, let's single it right down. Okay, is this the master? Is this this? Is this? What's the finish? Are you this? Are you that? And usually 15 minutes, 20 minutes, they feel like they've made all their choices. So I would say you got to keep it moving along and stay focused on the goals, or you've got to feel like they've been taken care of. But if you're spending 45 minutes 2-3 times a day, it's too much talking.
It's a lot of what we're finding is it's a lot of retirees and they just want to come see things and handle it and, you know, hang out and hear your life story and chat and all of that. And we love that part. We love that part. I mean, it's so fun, but then we get back to the desk and we've missed 8 phone calls in 45 minutes. And we're like, so blessed to be that busy, but oh my gosh, we just can't keep up, which is great. Again, great. So we just need to manage it. That's the answer.
Yeah, we really do, Christina. We need to manage, you know, the time and just move it along, like Greg says.
I'll get right on it.
There's a line between like professional and like wicked nice, and you gotta dial that in.
Yeah, I think Mike, he hit it. I think you guys are being too nice.
Because like you said, they're retirees, so they're coming in and like they're talking to you like they're your granddaughter, you know. So it's gonna last forever. You know, you're a professional, so you kind of like Greg said, control the appointment, and I don't know.
Yeah, in our showroom, we do it where, you know, everybody can come. It doesn't matter how many. Sometimes we have 4, 5, 6 people there, but when we do get that customer that is taking way too much time, I find out the best way to handle the situation is saying, we at some point you have to make a transition. Say, we'd love to continue with this conversation, but I do have an appointment at this time, a fun appointment or whatever. So do you think that I answer all of your questions? So do you need more information? I'll be happy to send you an email with whatever you like. And at that point, they kind of do get that, they're taking too much time, but I think giving them enough time and even better if they leave you with a check, don't let them leave your showroom without a check.
Yep, that's excellent advice. Give them a little heads up, a couple minutes, just so you know I have a phone appointment in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. I want to make sure I answer all your questions.
That's a great.
Then you go in the office, Christine, and hide and pick up the phone.
Yeah,
you guys are so mean. No,
you guys are so mean.
That's great. Yeah, I think most people who do kind of dominate your time know that they are, because they've been told, so it's like they're aware that they're doing it, but it's with just a subtle, just kind of a subtle reminder is enough to let them know, oh yeah, I got something to do. I'm doing that again.
Yeah, if people are being indecisive about, like you said, about a handle, feel free to take some pictures. It's just little. It's like those little nuances that, take a couple pictures and you can talk about it with your husband when you get home. It's just those little nuances of it's time to go.
Yeah, that right there is just a great topic for a whole conversation. Is just how to manage that, because that is tricky. We have the same thing here,
Yeah.
But we agree with Cameron. If they've come into the showroom, they're a big priority. We don't dump them to grab the phone, because that person didn't make any effort. All they did was just dial our number. Whereas the person in the phone got in the car, drove over, has a project. So they are a priority.
Yeah.
I don't mind it so much because those are the customers who are also going to leave us a 5-star review. And that is the best time spent, is the time it takes to get a 5-star review. Like, no question. There's no better ad spend than that. So, I mean, it's okay. That's how I justify it, but
Yeah, you just need to
still
trim it back a little.
yeah.
Yeah, the truth is, if you miss 10 calls, 5 of those are probably spam anyway. You know?
The other 5 are customers who just sent their check elsewhere, but don't worry about that.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No.
Minor details.
Well, and this might be a call for another time. It's definitely is a conversation for another time, but I need to switch our phone system, and I just want to know like what kind of phone system people use, because we've been kind of grandfathered into this like free Google Voice for Business, but it's been free this whole time. So we haven't changed, but we're getting so many calls at the same time that we need to set up a ring queue or like a round robin or something like that. So if anybody likes their phone system, please let me know.
That is a good topic. In fact, if you have somebody, have them come on as a guest, you know, that'd be a great topic for a meeting.
And I know Rob Gomez is going to have something to say about this.
Roberts.
Yeah. So if I
look at the time.
The infamous follow-up. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah, actually follow-up does have that all built in. We have round robin. You can select which users to call. If you have 20 numbers, then this number can go to that direct salesman or these 5 people, or this one could call all users, or it can go in a row, and you can IVR it. You can make them select what number they want. If it's going to be 1 for accounting, 2 for sales, 3 for estimates and invoices, depending on how big you are, we can really make this the most advanced thing you've experienced and duplicate it, or the basic one you want, and we'll just duplicate that. But yeah, we could do all that and follow up for you too. There's also services that are awesome that provide the calls for you. You just give them your business model and they can provide 24/7 answering calls for you. We can do that too, but there's a lot of options out there. Also for booking times, calendars, if you do try to schedule people in site, you could try to, what we've done is create a booking calendar for them. If they're going to call and say, do you have a showroom? You know your high volume times. If you were using a system like Follow Up or any call center, you'd be able to see what time blocks do you get the most calls, what time blocks do you not. Try to create those blocks as your suggested times to come in to the customers on this calendar, and then you could hopefully navigate them not walking in when you have to dispatch 7 people and answer the 8 to 9 a.m. when most people call about their jobs, and just tell them 10 o'clock's their best time or whatever it is. But the booking calendar concept was brought to me by a different team that started doing it and got overwhelmed. And this has been a decent solution for them to at least deflect some people during high volume. Stop everything for who walks in, but if they actually ask, maybe you can get them to come at a better time.
So, quick question. I'm not sure, Robert, did you guys do a follow-up call like this before? As far as like an info, like for the group, have you guys done?
No, I haven't done a webinar in or any kind of info presentation in a while. I can do one for y'all if y'all would like. Let y'all know all the aspects of how the best of the best are doing it. Whatever they would like to show for anyone the people that are follow-up users on this call and the various ones, I'll reach out to them and see what they're comfortable with us showing about their process. I'd be happy to.
We should
Round
totally
robin.
do that. We should totally do that. It's been a while since you came out as a guest, Rob. You make a great guest.
As long as I can bring my dog, we're cool.
Yeah, that'd be sweet, because I would be interested, because we're kind of running into that issue right now, and we're a small shop, and it's just me and my wife basically just fielding most of the calls, and it's like it's hard to stay on top of it, especially because we're trying to grow, but I'm kind of doing everything, and so yeah, I would be definitely interested in learning more about it. So
that's my specialty, the guy doing everything, saving him every chance I can.
You are that guy.
Help me, Robert. You're my only hope.
I'm more Morpheus than Neo. I think y'all are the Neos. I just help y'all figure out how.
Yeah, no, yeah, like I said, I'm definitely interested.
So Rob is actually the guy who's responsible for booking guests on this podcast. So Rob, go ahead and book yourself as guest for an upcoming call, and we'll have you on.
I'll check with him and see if he can make it. Fantastic. Sounds good. And I'll post something about it in the group. So I'd really love to give y'all what y'all want to know about, not just feature blast you. So I'll start a thread to hopefully get your questions listed throughout the week of how you would want to implement it and what, friction you might encounter with what you're already using, so we can get that presented to you. And I'll try to get those answers before we get on the call. So I'll do that.
There you go. Now, how's that for fast service? You ask, we deliver.
Sweet.
Just like that. Bam.
Sweet.
All right, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Good night.
See you next
Good night.
week.